Determining that perfect price for your membership site can be a real challenge. Have you taken a moment to evaluate the pros and the cons of different pricing models? If you haven't decided on your final approach, this video is for you. I'm Mitch, the CEO and founder here at Join It, a global membership platform that just works. We've helped over 1,500 organizations sell more than $80 million in membership. Therefore, the information that you find in this video is from us analyzing hundreds of thousands of inputs to come up with these recommendations. What we found, especially around first-time community builders, is an anxiety around setting pricing. They want to know, am I doing it right? So together in this video, me and you are going to go through the different pricing strategies, the pros and cons for each, and then my top 5 tips for helping you with pricing. So let's dive in. First, we're going to start with the most basic and most important, the 3 main pricing strategies. Whether you're pricing widgets, bread, or memberships, these will always stay the same. The 3 most important pricing strategy are market-based pricing, cost-plus pricing, and value-based pricing. Let's dig into each. So what is market-based pricing? This strategy focuses on evaluating your competitors' offerings and the price that they're setting in the market. It involves researching different companies in your specific field that you might be competing against or your customers might use you as a substitute for. And then it's important to understand why they're charging their specific pricing. A study found that 47% of B2C membership sites charge between $24 and $49 for membership. Now, if you were using market-based pricing, this would be a very strong signal that you should price your membership in that exact same window. Next, we have cost-plus pricing. This differs from market-based pricing because all you need is internal. You're not looking external to the market or anyone else. You're looking internally at how much it costs to deliver your service. In this case, your membership. And that's an all-in, everything together cost. And then you put a margin on top of it. So it's the cost plus to get to the price. Cost plus pricing. And lastly, but certainly not least, let's look at the pricing strategy called value-based pricing. Of the 3 different pricing strategies, value-based pricing should be the ultimate goal, but it's also the most difficult, so it's likely that you won't start there. This strategy focuses on setting the price according to the value that you're delivering to your members. As an example, let's go over a professional association. Now, a professional association might offer a lot of benefits to members, but one of the most powerful is the access to other members, the network that you're brought into. Now, if this organization were to do cost plus pricing, maybe it doesn't cost that much money to actually bring these individuals together. They've built the membership base over several years, and now it's just about maintenance. So the cost plus pricing model would probably undersell the opportunity for what they could charge. Additionally, market-based pricing is difficult because no other professional association provides this same networking opportunity. So there's no direct comparison in the market. So the best way that this professional association can do their pricing is by value-based pricing. What's the perceived or actual value being delivered by access to this network for its members, and then set the pricing there. And remember, you can always start with one of the simpler pricing strategies and then change to value-based pricing at a later time. Now that we've covered the 3 main pricing strategies, we're gonna go over 6 different pricing models for your membership website. The first model is monthly membership fees, and we know how this works. This is the bread and butter of the industry. This simple model allows your members to sign up with a recurring payment that rebills the same time every month, and they pay as they go. As long as they're using your site, they're a member. Number 2 is an annual payment model, which collects one payment from the member per year. The third time is a one-time payment model, where all members pay the same price one time for lifetime membership. This model is affordable and provides for your members that they pay once, they can retain their membership for life. Number 4, the tiered pricing model. You can set up multiple pricing tiers that mix and match price to different benefits to cater to a much broader segment of potential customers. The 5th model is pay-as-you-go, or sometimes called usage-based pricing. This promotes fairness and allows your customers to only pay for what they need. And if they need extra or temporarily more, they can increase their membership fee. The last model is a freemium model, which offers multiple tiers, a free tier and a premium tier. On the free tier, you get the basics, and on the premium tier, you can upgrade for a fee to get access to the entire package. Now that you know a little bit more about pricing models, you're probably wondering which one works best for my organization. So let's go into the pros and cons for each. The first one is monthly membership fees. Now, this is the bread and butter of the industry, so it's well understood. People know what they're signing up for. And there's a lot of pro in that simplicity. Also, you're generating recurring revenue. People sign up for a month and then they stick around, and then the next members will compound on top. It's a very powerful model. However, there are cons with the monthly membership model. First, it's hard to get going. If you're only collecting a small monthly fee from your members, it takes a lot of members for that to be material. Second, after a few months, members will start churning out. They'll start leaving your organization. So that means you'll have to recruit new members to replace them just to stay at the same level. The second pricing model was annual membership fees. Now, on the plus side, an annual membership fee encourages long-term commitment from your members, and it provides a steady revenue stream for the organization. Now, on the downside, requiring the payment of the annual fee upfront may discourage members from joining with that larger price tag if they're not quite sure. The third pricing model is one-time flat fee. This model has an obvious pro. You collect all the money upfront for the lifetime of the membership right away. This can be a huge boost to your organization and can make it much easier to get it off the ground. However, the cons of this model is that there's no recurring revenue from that customer. You collect it all upfront. However, there could be recurring costs. If they're expecting membership for a lifetime and they continue to use your services, customer support, whatever it might be, they might incur costs in the future, but you're not collecting revenue. So this might be really appealing in the short term when you first get started, and then it might cause issues later. The way that I've seen this used most successfully is a lot of organizations will launch with lifetime deals or one-time fees to start and then move to a recurring model. So they might take on the burden of service delivery later, even if they incur a cost, to get some of that cash up front. So don't be afraid to combine different pricing models and even switch your pricing models as your organization matures. The fourth pricing model is tiered pricing. Tiered pricing offers tons of flexibility to the organization and the members. You can mix and match your different merchandising to make sure that benefits and price create ideal outcomes to help you reach a much broader audience. Now, if it sounds too good to be true, it's because the downside is complexity. In commerce, you'd call these different offerings different SKUs, they're different products. Each product has overhead for delivery and management, and it can become real complicated real fast. So you just want to be careful if you're adopting this model that you don't overcomplicate it. The fifth pricing model is pay as you go. This model allows individuals to customize their pricing according to how much they personally are going to use the membership. Now, on the downside is that some members will self-regulate and self-limit their usage of the membership because they are more price sensitive. So you're not actually getting the engagement, which could be a negative spiral to get them to churn out of the organization altogether. Additionally, it can be really difficult to predict future revenue. There's no depending recurring revenue because it's all based on usage. And lastly is a freemium membership model. The pros are that you can get more people in the door as free members trying your basic services, and that could help you reach a much larger audience and convert them to paid members. Now, the downside here, of course, is that you're delivering services for free. That's a huge cost to incur without taking in any revenue. So you'll really want to make sure that you are watching that conversion ratio of free to premium to make sure it's a beneficial acquisition channel for you to spend the money and incur the cost of this free membership. As you can see, if you're considering this pricing model, then you should really dive deeper. And I have a lot to say on it. So watch our other video on should your organization offer free membership. And there we go. There's the 6 different pricing models and the pros and cons for each one. Next, we're gonna go over 5 tips for setting your membership pricing. The first tip is consider your costs and expenses. This is so critical because a lot of times people will set membership pricing completely detached for what it actually costs to deliver the service of membership. If you're not making money as an organization, you're not sustainable and you're not gonna stick around. So my first tip, have your costs and expenses written down, know them like the back of your hand, and know how much it's incremental for each membership. My second tip is meet your target audience. You need to be out there meeting the target audience, who you're trying to acquire, and then setting your ideal customer profile. Whenever you're trying to find a potential customer, it's critical to have that customer profile nailed. And it's even better if it's explicitly written down. We do this internally at Join It. When we try to find new customers, we know exactly who we're looking for by demographic, age, where they live, what their career is, and where they hang out online. You should do the same. Number 3, research competitors. Research research, research. Know exactly what your competitors are offering and putting out there into the market. If nothing else, you can use it for inspiration or your own benchmarking, but you should know that prospective customers are doing that research themselves. Your membership is probably a substitute for another membership, and a lot of times people choose between one or the other. So be armed with information and make sure to research your competitors. My fourth tip is consider experimenting with different pricing strategies and different pricing models. To try to sum up everything very briefly, when you start your pricing strategy, you'll probably start with cost-based pricing or market-based pricing, but really experiment and try to get to value-based pricing. When it comes to experimenting with pricing models, do something that collects a lot of cash up front. So it could be one-time pricing, annual pricing, or pay-as-you-go pricing, but then convert to things that are more recurring, things that will compound over time. That's when you'll want to switch people to monthly memberships to make sure that you're stacking those membership payments over time as you really start to accelerate and grow into a larger organization. By taking this time to evaluate the different pricing strategies and pricing models, you can really use this as leverage to grow a more powerful, profitable, and successful organization. My fifth piece of advice is charge more money. So many organizations undersell themselves. They underestimate the value they're providing. They're nervous to raise prices because people will leave, people will stop joining, whatever it might be. They drag their feet, they never do it, they delay it. And if they eventually get to raising prices, they get no pushback from customers, they get people still sticking around, and they get people still joining. And they often wonder, why didn't I do this ages ago? So if you're waiting for a signal and you're not sure what to do, this is it. This is your signal. Charge more money for your membership. You'll be glad you did. That's it for today's video. As you can see, pricing your membership site can be challenging, but more so, it's intimidating and people are nervous to make changes or nervous to start. Hopefully what we've shared in this video and some of the tips is helpful in demystifying the different ways to think about pricing from strategy or model. Hopefully you're able to get some strong takeaways and apply it to your organization. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate the support, and I'll see you around on the next video.